Let's kick off. Welcome, everybody. Tuesday evening. My name's Dave Ives. For those who don't know me, I'm based here on the south coast of the United Kingdom. I know we've got a number of people watching from numerous of European markets tonight. We've also got some across the pond. So welcome to each and every one of you, wherever you're listening in from. This tonight really has a dual purpose. One is to educate those who have already chosen Zinzino as a viable business opportunity for them, and for their guests who may have been approached, spoken to, information shared with, to see if they have a level of interest in partnering with them in this incredible opportunity. And so tonight we're going to be sharing a little bit about the very best in-class product offering that Zinzino has, and why this could be a viable opportunity for you. A few short years ago, I was in your position. Someone asked me if I was open. In fact, it took me 3 years to take a serious look at the Zinzino opportunity. I sincerely hope and pray it doesn't take you that long to actually understand the potential of what I'm about to share with you. But let me share a little bit about my background. My background is sports initially in my early youth, then into the hospitality arena where I became a licensed restaurateur, I owned a number of businesses, been in the corporate world. But in all those journeys, I achieved many things. I failed at many things. But one thing was very apparent. I didn't like being told what to do, when to do it, and how much I was worth. So I've always been entrepreneurial. I'd always be willing to stay up longer, get up earlier, go to work for less just to have my freedom. And so tonight, understand this, if you're a guest here this evening, this is an opportunity for you. This is a business of your own, but you'll be part of an incredible community that spans the globe. Presently, we're now in excess of 40 countries that are open and another 60 that you can do business in. But understanding what the opportunity is, the journey that we're going to take, first of all, this evening is about the incredible products, because success really depends just not on making money, but actually handling, resolving real issues in the world. And today we couldn't be more awoken to what we're experiencing in 2020 about health. The exciting thing about Zinzino, though, is they've been on their health revolution since 2013 or 14. So a good 8 years, Zinzino has been at the forefront of helping people understand where they stand on a cellular level with their health. The company itself, though, you'll learn more about them shortly, well in excess of 15 years old. So what you're being exposed to tonight is not a possibility, a maybe. If we could just sort of coerce a handful of people to take a look, we may have something here. What you're going to be being exposed to tonight is a best-in-class, all-natural pharmaco-nutritional product line, backed up by an incredible marketing plan that remunerates you and I, an independent partner, who chooses to start building a business over the next coming few months to a few years that can literally add some additional income, replace some full-time income, and for some, create a dream lifestyle. But there is nothing for nothing. So tonight, as I share this with you, all I ask you to do is keep an open mind. We're going to go through some exciting information with you tonight. And if anything that I share with you interests you, intrigues you, stimulates you, that gets you stirring, that potential of what if this could work for me, then I'd encourage you to get back with that individual who had thought enough of you to invite you onto the call this evening and get answers to your questions and make an informed decision. Because at the end of the day, success is available to each and every one of us. Not everyone's ready to act upon it. So let's kick off. Zinzino is a tried and tested opportunity. Now, Zinzino is a health and wellness company. And at the core of their whole being and ethos is health and wellness. And I don't know about you, no matter where you're listening in from this evening, whether it be the European market, whether it be across the pond or down under in Australasia, wherever you are listening in from, we are no different. I think today, as regards to not this present time tonight, but today's period, era, Health couldn't be more important. Feeling fit couldn't be more important. And staying healthy and fit, it should be a priority. But the reality is the world has access to more data than ever before, access to information and knowledge and exercise regimes and updates as on applications and social media and the superhighway. And yet we are the most unhealthiest we've ever been as a human race. And I think it's time that you and I should ask ourselves, why is that the case? And very simply is that we've moved away from what was natural. You see, food used to be our medicine and medicine used to be our food. And so what happened in the last few short decades is that we have moved away from Mother Nature. And many of you may even argue, well, Dave, I eat organic presently. I eat clean now. But there's two things that we've got to ask ourselves. Less than 100 years ago, we would work the land. We would sow the seed. We would harvest our crops, and we would consume those and repeat the process. I don't know about you, I was taught in history, crop rotation. What happened very soon is that lifestyles changed. People went from a singular income family to a dual income family. And so we saw the introduction of convenience foods, processed foods, high in calories, but very low in nutrition, totally opposite from what we were eating previously. So what we started to see was demographics and conditions start to introduce themselves into society. And then came two major elements. The pharmaceutical companies that started creating medication that would actually suppress the core but address the symptoms of our ill health. And also the supplement market that became a boom industry. And that word supplement is important. Why? Because supplement means to add to. The reality was we need supplements because our nutrient value of the food we started to consume was depleted. And so we were full, but we were becoming unhealthy. And there were some consequences to that. And the consequences of that is historically and scientifically, you and I as human beings are born the same way. Our DNA is the same. We are one-to-one with our essential fatty acids. Now, I don't know about you. I was brought up in London and wherever you may have been brought up, but I'd most definitely heard the term essential fatty acids through my youth and adulthood. I can honestly tell you, I had no understanding what it meant. I'd heard of omega-3, but I really didn't know its purpose. But over the last 18 months, because someone thought enough of me, I've started to understand that humans are the unhealthiest I've ever been, sicker than ever before, because of the way we consume, our food, and we are no longer what we eat. We are what we eat if it can be absorbed. And the absorption is what we're going to be talking about this evening. You see, we are naturally born one-to-one, one omega-6 to one omega-3. And science says that even though if that ratio starts to drift a little, we can get away with 3-to-1, 3 omega-6s to 1 omega-3. But that period of time that I just mentioned about where the dual income families came about, convenience foods, TV meal dinners, the microwave meals, that was a shift. And that shift is now what we're paying the price for 5 decades later. That turning point in the early 60s became a 4-to-1 ratio, meaning the omega-6s, which are very inflammatory, and we need those, by the way. We can't live without omega-6, but too much of omega-6 can be very detrimental. And I want to paint a picture for you. Omega-6 is the inflammatory aspect of our defense mechanism. If you've ever cut yourself and you've seen that readiness around your cut, that will be the inflammation that's protecting us. Well, that's very much like sitting at your home in front of a log fire. That log fire, you put a log on, maybe you stoke the coal and you sit down with your significant other and you have the ambience, the lights are down, the glow of the fire, the warmth of the fire is creating that atmosphere for you. Now you decide to go to bed, but you leave that fire unattended. And for some reason, maybe the log gets dislodged or the coal rolls out of the hearth and touches or rolls onto some soft furnishings and slowly starts to smolder. and then ignites, and middle of the night, now you have a house fire. That very thing that you enjoyed, that protected you, created the destruction of the home you lived in. Well, that's exactly what omega-6 does. If omega-6 is allowed to go out of ratio to omega-3, then we start to have a thing called chronic inflammation. And United Kingdom and Europe, on average, is now 15-1 out of balance. The United States and many other continents around the world are even greater out of balance. Now, here's the thing. We don't know if we are or if we don't. Chronic inflammation has been labeled the silent killer. So the question that was asked of me a few short years ago was health important to me? And did I know where I was? Because the conclusion is if I didn't know where I was, I wouldn't know whether I was in or out of balance. And I would therefore not know the consequences of being out of balance. So let me share some of those with you. Being out of balance is very simply that what starts to happen is an elasticity of our skin, our gut health, our immune system, our brain capacity, all these factors today that we seem to see and experience, whether it be ourselves or maybe our significant others or family members or even work colleagues or people within our community, we'll hear about gut health, we'll hear about cardiovascular, we'll hear about brain conditions. But we now think that's the norm because we see so much of it going on. And the conversation at the water cooler or at church or somewhere where we gather will be all about the medication that we're on. Folks, that's not natural. That's the pharmaceutical companies keeping us where we are because there's profit in that. And so not knowing where I was or understanding the importance of essential fatty acids, I learned rapidly because I then became open to understanding there's a significant difference of looking fit and being healthy. See, health is on a cellular level. We've been buying supplements for many decades. We've been eating clean and we've been training hard and we've been physiology-wise changing shape. And yet sometimes, have you heard of that story? Someone that used to run past maybe the place of your work or the property where you live, and you don't know that individual, but you've seen this person jog past numerous times for month after month, year after year, and suddenly fit as a fiddle. Have you ever heard that? Fit as a fiddle, but suddenly they're no longer here. Because if you don't know what's going on the inside, judging what's going on the inside by the way you look on the outside is not a wise decision. You see, cellular health is the most important part. And if our ratio shifts beyond that 4-1, every living cell in our body has a membrane. And very simply, the higher the number of out of ratio, the more harder and rigid that cell becomes. And that only means one thing. Even though if you eat clean, even if you take the best supplementation in the world, if it cannot be absorbed by the cell because the membrane is too hard, then you're simply wasting your money. So what do we need to do? Well, we need to, one, identify whether we are in or out of balance. And then we need to be able to bring our cellular health back into a healthy state where the membrane is now once permeable again to do the absorption of everything that we consume. So we are no longer what we eat. We are what we eat if it can be absorbed. So the question that you have to ask yourself, that I asked myself, was, did I know whether I was in or out of the danger zone? And that there lies the opportunity. See, today the world is 7+ billion people, diabetes and obesity and Alzheimer's and gut health and diseases that were not around 100 years ago that are now degenerative diseases that we're starting to see in younger generations way before they should even be experiencing, we're calling normal. And I've said this before, it's not normal. And so when the question was asked of me, is health important to you, Dave? I want to ask you that very same question. If you're a guest here this evening, I want you to ask yourself, is health important to you? Because if it is, wouldn't you want to remove any doubt about our well-being? See, because unless we know what's lying underneath, we can't judge what we see. And so very simply, I was asked if I was open to taking a test. And that test is in my hand today. This is the blood test that I was asked to take. And I had to ask myself, was I open to taking a test to remove any doubt about my own health? Well, Zinzino, and I wasn't going to be the spokesperson. I wasn't going to be the person who decided whether this would work or not, because at that time, 18 months ago, May of 2019, the company had tested 270,000 individuals. So it took them 8 years to test 270,000 individuals. That was May of 2019. Fast forward to today, this period, the company has now done well over 500,000 independent blood tests and has over 360,000 plus monthly customers taking control of their cellular health. So my only real question, and I've got to be honest with you, skepticism, was the test. Of course, I would take the test, and my thoughts were, of course, I'm going to be out of balance because you want to sell me your product. But when I found out that the test was actually performed by the world's leading independent analytical blood diagnostics analytical company called VITAS, and that company tested not only for Zinzino, but governments, multiple educational and health institutions, as you can see on the screen, that removed my doubt. And so Zinzino is the world's first test-based, independently proven pharmaco-nutritional company. And so you can get your results in a matter of weeks. You simply you unpack this package and you take out the little lancet, and you, men, I know you're going to need support here. You're going to need to actually make a little prick and dry blood spot on a card. You let that dry, you put it in an envelope, you send it off to VITAS laboratory, and you start consuming the Zinzino nutritional products. Within a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, you'll get a notification that you can visit the website, the zinzinotest.com, put your independent barcode in, and you're going to be able to get your results. One or two things is going to happen. You're going to be in or out of balance. Well, you'll be able to see on the screen that my first blood test, exports person, hospitality and restaurateur, fresh produce, I was significantly out of balance, 14.4 to 1. We should be 3 to 1 or less. But unbeknown to me, I had chronic inflammation. So I continued taking our nutritional products. But here's what's alarming. Those results that Zinzino has been able to accumulate by testing over 500,000 people has shown that not one continent on this planet is healthy. Now, if you're thinking about being an entrepreneur, you want something that will address a real global situation. So what's more alarming is that those people that have been taking nutrition and supplements for a period of time were still significantly out of balance. And those who had taken no additional supplements, well, they were significantly in the danger zone. So what can we do? As an entrepreneur, there's got to be a solution to an issue. Well, thanks to this gentleman, Dr. Paul Clayton, in his 70s now, has spent the last 5 decades of his life proving, documenting that chronic inflammation is at the core root of majority of the things that we see that are jeopardizing, damaging, and destroying lifestyles today. Chronic inflammation. And so Dr. Paul Clayton started his journey a number of years ago, putting together some of the most advanced thinking in advisory board capacity, and has been able to put formulated products together for Zinzino. Many of them are patented. So Paul has been able, through his dedication, at the time of life where he should be hanging up his gloves, he's actually in the ring. And what I mean by that is he understands that the pharmaceutical companies are not helping us improve our lifestyles or our health on a cellular level. And if you want to read about him, go to his blog, drpaulclayton.eu. And do yourself the biggest favor. If you were going to read a book in January about health, read a book called Let Your Food Be Your Pharmaconutrition. So through these formulated products, Dr. Paul Clayton has created a product line that within 120 days, we can come back into balance. And we'll start to see better health, clarity of mind, skin, sleep, recuperation, things that will improve our life on a cellular level. But one of my questions, and I hope you'll have the same internal question, is, okay, I've heard of omega-3s, I've heard of essential fatty acids. Why is Zinzino's unique? Well, very simply, today out in the market, manufacturers who market and manufacture omega-3 products are very simply just selling fish oil. And fish oil in its own capacity doesn't work. It oxidizes. If you've ever taken any form of product, whether it be liquid or capsule or how you've ever consumed omega-3, you tend to get that aftertaste. You tend to get that repetitive, embarrassing little burp. Well, that's sharing with you that there's oxidation already taken place. Well, where ours is more effective is that Dr. Paul Clayton discovered in nature, omega-3 is never found alone. It has a chaperone. It's called a polyphenol. Very similar to a Teflon situation. Seaweed got that slimy texture to it. We're basically a protective covering. Omega-3 is exactly the same. But when fish is caught and manufacturers make their products, of course, they've got to clean that process, extracting the metals, the plastics, the toxins. And at the same time, they're extracting the antioxidant that protects the omega-3. Why is ours unique? Because Dr. Paul Clayton discovered that, and we put polyphenols back into our product, as well as many other ingredients in our product. So taking a small 10 ml dosage a day will absolutely improve our cellular health. But the great thing about what we do is we test first to see if we need the product. And if we don't, there's a 100% money back guarantee if your results are back in balance. But for those who aren't in balance, I was one of those, I started consuming the products. And the products are incredible. They're the best in class, all natural pharmaconutritional products on the planet. And we have a soluble version for maybe the younger members of our family, because you're going to understand everybody should be taking what I'm sharing with you. We have the world's first patented vegan option. The vegans out there in the world chooses a lifestyle and an eating program that suits their beliefs and their wellness. The reality is vegans are actually more out of balance than those non-vegan. Why? Through their diet, they're not consuming enough DHA and EPA, which is required. So we have the world's first patented vegan solution. We also have a soft gel capsule for those who may not like to take a liquid format. So balanced oil is at the center of us bringing people's cellular health back in order. And from start to finish, what I loved and was attracted to once I opened my thinking is that Zinzino owns its research and development. It owns its processing from start to finish. And so we are certified by GMP. So every process and element of our manufacturing to the end product is actually certified. And Zinzino is one of the most responsible environmental companies I've ever had the opportunity to partner with. To such degree, it's already a member of Friends of the Sea, because what they see as sustainable responsibility when we are harvesting the fish, the small anchovies, the oily fish, the mackerels, the herrings, they take seriously. We also are part of a sporting institution called Informed Choice that soon will be, and we will make an announcement soon, as I watch Steve Morley's head nod, of Informed Sports. Now, Informed Sports in the United Kingdom is one of those bodies that professional sports people, organizations, teams and clubs will see if your name appears on that certification, because if it does, it's been proven to be anti-doping. So when that happens, guess what? That's going to elevate us into the public domain even greater than where we are right now. And of course, on the screen, you'll see things that are socially and environmentally and emotionally conscious things that people talk about that's important to them. Non-GMO, keto-friendly, vegan, halal, natural sourced ingredients, and we comply to all of the above. Now, we make a bold statement that our product is more effective up and beyond most that's in the market. Why can we say that? It's because you've had your nose pinched before, where your mother's put the spoon in and to put the cod liver oil into your mouth for you to swallow. But you've taken cod liver oil, you've taken the krill, you've taken the concentrated products, thinking that you're doing something because you've Googled the importance of omega-3. You've never really questioned it. You've never tested the product you're taking, not knowing that it's not even effective because it oxidizes before it gets to the cellular level. See, ours stays potent well in excess of 24 hours, which is what the time it takes to get to the cellular level. So now we have a product that works. And how do we know that? Because in 120 days or less, for me, it was 90 days. I was intrigued. I was feeling better, sleeping better. My skin was telling me that I was now looking only 62 rather than my 74-year-old. I'm just seeing who's following me there. But in 120 days, I retested and I was 2.1 back in balance. So we know that people need what we have. We know that people get results with what they consume. Now, the question is, who needs it? Well, everybody. From conception to pregnancy, to infancy, to adolescence, to early adulthood, all the way through to our latter years. We need omega-3. It's the number one essential building block ingredient for our cellular health. So people go off and buy their omega-3s, Holland & Barrett, Black Friday, Amazon, eBay, where's the best deal, Morrison's, and the 2 for the 1 deals, and they think they're doing something for their health. They're simply buying a product and making profit for other manufacturers who are simply selling fish oil. So this is why we are excited, because the European Food Safety Association says there's over 165 medical claims. There's about 15 on the screen that you can take a quick browse over right now. But let me draw your attention to the main three. I call them the big three. Normal brain, normal heart, and normal immune, which couldn't be more poignant today, is why we need omega-3. So first of all, if you're not taking omega-3, you need to take action. If you are taking omega-3s, you want to check whether yours is working or not. And how do we do that? We remove all doubt with an independent blood test. So reaching your balance is vitally important for that first step in feeling good, staying fit, and being healthy. And so the oil is our flagship product. The oil brings us back into balance, but gut health is just as important. Gut health has been labeled that our gut is our second brain. And in our gut, very simply, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a nutritionist, but in our gut, we have a microbiome. And there's a negative and a positive element to that. Good bacteria, bad bacteria. Reminds me of ballet, good toes, naughty toes. But good bacteria, bad bacteria. The challenge today is you're hearing of IBS, leaky gut. This is because your negative microbiome has outgrown the good microbiome. So what Zinzino's product line does through its 5 blended formula fibered product is to bring our health back into good health. It helps us to have natural movements. And so over a short period of time, not months, but within days and weeks, you start to bring your gut back into positive microbiome activity. We also have, I believe, to be the most potent multivitamin mineral supplement with beta-glucans out in the market. I'm about to share something with you that you'll understand in a moment why we're so passionate about Zinzino's being the best products out there, because we're the first that you can test and prove. Now, we know immune's vitally important right now. We're hearing it on the radio, we're hearing it on the media, we're hearing it with people. Look, what we're going through right now is a real concern for many. But more concerning is people aren't doing anything about their health. If you build your immune, if you build your strength, your resistance, you're going to put yourself in a more favorable space than just sitting there waiting to be told what to do next. Personal health and personal responsibility is why we're excited about Zinzino. This is a multivitamin, a multi-immune product that really, with the oil, with the biotic, you will not need any other form of supplements when you understand the science and the natural ingredients of what we do. We also have an ultimate immune product called Protect. We have my favorite product. It's a nootropic supplement, and it's called our Spa for the Mind. Basically, today, people are experiencing anxiety, lack of sleep, and they were doing that anyway, 5-10 years ago. But they just thought that was life. They thought that was stress. They thought that was the pace of life, but we're experiencing it even more so today. Well, through this nootropic all-natural product, we use a patent ingredient called Afron. Go Google Afron. It's a derivative of saffron, the most expensive spice that we know in the world, and it has the natural capabilities of aiding better sleep when you're deep in your REM, and when you're awake, to giving you that little boost naturally with no dependency or addictive behavior to it, but keeps you with that spring in your step. So we have an incredible offering called the Health Protocol. Step one, get in balance. The oil brings our membrane back into balance. 2, restore our gut health for that microbiome. And 3, boost our immune system. When you work with these synergistically, then you have the best of the best going into your body. And the great thing about this is you don't do them independently. You can do, but the oil actually addresses your cellular health. So by bringing your cellular health helps you with absorption. Your gut health is totally different. So you can commence your xenobiotic at the same time as your oil. And then our immune is not associated with our gut. So we can boost our immune through our nutrients and our vitamins. So you put that together, we call that our health protocol. Now, this is not a customer presentation, but I want to share this with you. For a mere 60, 70 pounds a month for the best in class, all natural pharmaconutritional products, independently tested to prove that it works, you couldn't go out for a good meal for 2 people to come home to wake up with a sore head the next morning after a couple of glasses of wine. And this is your monthly investment in your own cellular health. If you wanted to add that Viva product, you could add that too. And we have multiple products. We have a weight management product line that helps you build, maintain, maybe lose. And in our product, in our weight management product, we also have the Zinzino Biotic Fiber. So if you're taking the protein shake, you can actually have the fiber in it at the same time. We have an incredible skincare line. This is a one skincare product that is food for the skin. And already Zinzino, along with Dr. Paul Clayton, has done a test that when in conjunction with consuming the oil that works on the cellular level, and you feed the skin from the outside from the dermatology aspect, you use those 2 products in combination, within 60 days, your elasticity is improved by 37%. Huge improvements. So Zinzino really does offer the very best in life to inspire each and one of us to change our health, our well-being, and our prosperity. So we lead with the product. If your goal is just to have better health, then I encourage you to get back with the individual, let them know that you're excited about at least removing the doubt, getting tested, and subscribing as a premier customer, where you can receive these products automated on a subscription delivered to your door, so you never have to worry about running out and going to the cupboard and going, shoot, I should have ordered. We offer a drop ship to your door on an automated process. But this is a business presentation this evening. So I want to switch gear and share with you the opportunity that if you would love to be part of what we're doing, if you may be an accountant, you may be an engineer, you may be a representative in the hospitality industry. You may be a personal trainer. You may be a frontline health practitioner. You could be whatever your chosen field is. But let me assure you today, if we are not listening to the economics of the globe, if we're not listening to the cries of the way of the winds of change, there is no security today. And so if you were going to try and build something, at least invest your time and energy that addresses real concerns, global health. And so Zinzino has been addressing that for now 8 years. They're a strong, financially strong company. You can go to the North European NASDAQ and see their stock exchange growth over the last 12 months, very impressive. Approximately €1.5 in value in 2019, and today closes out just over €7. Incredible growth. You can see the countries we're already operating in. So if you're looking as a potential new partner tonight, this is not a get rich quick, and this is not a startup company. It's established. What you do have the opportunity is to be part of its next growth phase globally. Over the next 2 years, we're going to be opening another 60 to 100 markets in addition to the 40 plus that we have presently. You can see where we're open with the darker shade. You can see what's coming with the lighter shade, and you can see the markets that still haven't been touched. So why did Zinzino choose this route to market? Why? Because very simply, direct sales is the best way to educate and communicate the message of cellular health. And very simply, nothing's different with direct sales and traditional marketing other than we make the money instead of the middlemen. I'd have never had an issue where my friends who are entrepreneurs, people I cared about, if they wanted to go and pursue things that will better their life, the lives of others, why would I not support them opposed to supporting people I don't even know? That's a weird persona, but that's what people do. Why? Because they don't understand direct sales. Very simply, direct sales is that we move a product, service, direct to the consumer, and you're the person who actually instigates that transaction. And today we do it all online through an e-commerce platform. So there's no overheads, there's no stock holding. You simply connect people via your e-commerce website, and you get rewarded for the volume that you create. So let's address those two things I mentioned a moment ago. Real issues. Well, omega-3, by the way, is the #1 consumed nutritional product in the world. Over 500 million people presently are consuming it. But 0.2 of those that we have tested have been out of balance. That market right now is a $40 billion annual business and projected to be over the next, 20, 30 years, a $200 billion market a year. So if you're going to put your time and energy in something, you want to put your time into energy in something that's real, that exists, that needs addressing. Think about this. Netflix put films on subscription and put blockbusters out of business. Uber allowed anybody with a vehicle who wanted to make an extra money to put taxi firms out of business. Zinzino is bringing test-based nutrition to a market that already exists, that is fragmented, and we're going to bring cohesion where people can buy products they can trust because they can prove that works, that they need. Now that is a mega trend. So how can you start your own business? How can you be part of that mega trend with the individual who invited you on the call today? Well, very simply, you become a business owner. Very much as I did as a restaurateur, I went along to the bank and I borrowed $250,000. For those who know United Kingdom, there's a banking system called RBS, or there was, Royal Bank of Scotland. They lent me £250,000 and gave me the honor of working until I died to pay them back. That was a blessing. And here, you can get involved in an e-commerce business that has a global opportunity, work from home, the time and hours that you decide to do for less than £1,000. The biggest obstacle, and I want to share this with you because I care about you, is people do not treat this as a business. They treat it like a hobby. And that's why they don't make money. See, when I borrowed $250,000 from the bank, I went to work 7 days a week because I didn't go to work to make money. I went to work to make the money to pay the bank back. Here, you can get started without jeopardizing your primary career. You can get started without even putting yourself at risk. And here, I'm going to be bold. I see a few heads. May I be bold with you as regards to being a business owner? I need to see a show of heads nodding. Okay. The most common thing I hear is, David, looks good. I'll get started next month. David, looks good. I just don't have the money. David, looks good. The car's just gone and I need to replace the clutch. Ladies and gentlemen, let me share with you wholeheartedly because I know this position. At 51 years young, I didn't have the money to get started. And that was the reason I had to find the money to get started, because what I was doing wasn't working. And so if £1,000 or less stands as a barrier in between you or being part of a mega trend, then you need to decide what is it that you want bad enough that you'll be willing to invest. But here's what's great about Zinzino. They don't want your money. Yes, you're going to invest in your business, but they're going to give you the opportunity to get it refunded. By focusing on going out and getting real customers, you've got a whole year to get 25 products into the hands of real customers being delivered to their door, and within 12 months, and if you get that done within 12 months or by the 12th month, the 13th month, the company going to ask for your bank account details and refund you your full investment. Royal Bank of Scotland didn't offer me that opportunity. And here, they never offered me a mega trend either. They enabled me to buy a restaurant. I was geographically limited to my location, and I had to work 18 hours a day and wait for people to come into my restaurant to tell me they were hungry. I had no control, but I thought I had a real business. Here, you have a real business that's online. My business cost me £35,000 a month to run. 9 staff, advertising, online, radio, paper advertising, fresh produce, wholesale processes. I used to have to pay £1,500 a month. For those who are business owners, you'll understand this. I paid £1,500 a month to the local council for trade effluent from the rain that fell onto my car park that went down the drain. I had to pay for that. And here, people go, how much? £55? Oh, if I said to come to my home Saturday because we're having a barbecue, bring some beers and a steak, you'd spend that and not think nothing of it. Here, your running costs are £55 a month, and that includes your own product. That includes your own replicated websites. That includes your own mobile applications. And the great thing again, Zinzino don't want your money. Once you get 10 subscriptions, 10 customers using products, they even waiver your monthly running costs. And the great thing about this, I really loved, I think this is one of the deciding factors for me, was it was one thing getting the customer, whether it be a restaurateur, an accountant, or orthodontist, or an engineer. It doesn't matter what we do, but we must get new business. But keeping that business is hard. And here Zinzino offers your customers the ability to get their product for free that will increase the retention of your customers. Simply, your customer can get on the product, and then by referring 4 people on the same level of product as them or greater, the company's going to send them, that customer, their product. They only pay for shipping. And even partners can get their product for free. So now you understand the mega trend. Now you understand it really is insignificant to be part of this mega trend. You can work it part-time, many do, to make some secondary income. Some will then replace it with a full-time income. And many on this call are building this full-time on a part-time basis, making well more than a full-time income. And the great thing about it, you can work from anywhere as long as you've got connectivity. And here's a big lesson I've started to learn. And I say started to learn. I've got to start working with people I like. Really? Because you work with people at work, you don't. So here, this is your business. Choose who you work with. Now, you can't help everybody. You heard that old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it, even if you put salt in their oats. You can't make people do something they don't want to do. Look for those who are looking. And when you do, work together to create residual income. So let's now wrap up with how we make the money. Very simply, there's 10 ways of making money. I'm only going to touch on a couple of them. But the first thing is you are the franchisee. You own your own e-commerce web shop. The first 30 days, working with the individual who invited you, working with the support team that are helping them, they're going to show you the tools, the resources, the documentation, the videos, what you send, what you say, because there is a system to follow. When you go and get 4 products being subscribed to a customer base, you're going to be called a smart bronze and you're going to make about 150 pounds in your first 30 days. Now, let's go and help 4 other people join your venture. They could be people that, the way we build our business, they could be your connections. They could be connections of others that place them onto your team. And they could be the connections of the connections you brought in that you never knew in the first place. So it's very simply, in the first 30 days, how 4 other people get started in business within your venture, you're called a fast silver. And you're going to make about another 200 pounds. So in your first 30 days, with the retail commission, with a small little bit of team volume commission and a fast start bonuses, you can expect to make at least 50% back of about 400 pounds of your investment. In the next 30 days, so in your first 2 months, those first 4 initial product subscriptions, get 6 more. So you've got 10 in total. We call that X-Team Express. So in your first 60 days, help 4 people get on the product or 4 product users, help 4 people join your business, and then in the next 30 days, so 60 days in total, get 10 product users in total. You're going to make around 700 to 800 pounds back in fast start commissions. RBS didn't offer me that. Zinzino show you how to get real customers and you get your investment back. You know what happens there is that you've proved to yourself you can get product users. You've also proved to yourself you can duplicate and get other business builders. Well, you've got 10 subscriptions, you only need 15 more by month 12, and you also now get a refund on the investment in addition to the commission you've already earned. And this company rewards you for gathering customers. Retail, we can earn between 10 and 30% of retail consumption. So customers, gather customers from 0 to 25 customers, you're going to get 10% retail. 25 and above to 49, you're going to get 20%. 50 plus subscriptions, you're going to make 25%. And it maxes out about 30%. Anything beyond that is always going to be at a 30% retail commission. But here's what's neat. Remember that health protocol, the oil to get us in balance, the xenobiotic to restore our gut health, and 3, extend to boost our immune, those 3 products. Well, I could be your customer. I could be on those 3 products. That would be 3 subscriptions. 1 customer, 3 subscriptions. Top team you can see there is 100 subscriptions. So if you had 33 customers on the protocol, you'd have 99 subscriptions. You'd be 1 subscription short of a $10,001 one-time bonus. That's just for going gathering a handful of customers. Now, what would happen if you wanted to build a real business? Well, you now start teaching others to do what you've done. They could be in Sydney, they could be in Miami, they could be in Toronto, they could be in Hackney. Why you would want to be there, I don't know, but that's where I was born and bred. But very simply, the point I'm making is you could be anywhere. Why? It's an online business. You help 4 people now do what you've just done for 410. You're called an executive. And those customers on a replenished subscription model, Netflix films, Uber cars, Zinzino Health. Why won't we put our health on subscription? Help 4 people go executive. You're a diamond. A diamond you can build without jeopardizing being a surgeon. Diamond you can build without jeopardizing being a primary school teacher. Diamond you can build 10 to 15 hours a week. Well, Dave, I don't have 10 to 15 hours a week. We do at the moment. We do at the moment. It's what we do in these moments where others are looking and moaning that you define yourself. 10 or 15 hours a week, we'll show you what to do. We'll work alongside you. You can make an extra £3,000 to £4,000 a month. Think about this. I listened to an incredible wise man this weekend. While others were watching the sequels of soap or box sets on Netflix, I listened to a group of entrepreneurs. And he said to make £3,000 to £4,000 a month, you must times that by 200 to have that sitting in a bank account for you to make it. And all you got to do is put 10 or 15 hours a week in for the next 2, 3, 4 months, work with a team of people who will show you how to redirect people's consumption with their health and put it on subscription with test-based nutrition. And you don't need that investment, but you're making what you would make if you had the investment. So help 4 people go diamond, you're a crown. And that's not even halfway up the business potential, but that's enough to change our lives. But the question you need to ask yourself is your timing right? Are you genuinely open? Not just looking for something for nothing, but you're looking for an opportunity, things you need to change, your health, your finances, things that you want to start investing in and preparing for and protecting your family of, because if money and time were no object, there were things you would love to do, but you can't do because you have limited of both of those commodities. Because business is all about timing. Zinzino last year had 180,000 monthly customers when I joined in May of 2019. Today, they've got 360 plus thousand. And so what's important is not just the timing, but understanding the vision of the company, the corporate staff that's in place, the financial viability of a company. And when I sat down with the founder and asked him, where do you want to be in the next 3, 4, 5, 10 years? Because at 51, I didn't want to get in something and have to be looking 2 more years from now. I'm getting old. I'm tired. I'm not, because I'm on this product. It's restored my energy. But I'm just seeing who's paying attention. So very simply, Orion said to me, by 2025, they want 1 million customers. By 2035, they want 20 million customers. And by 2050, they want 100 million customers. Well, they've gone from 180 to 360. The value of the share price has gone from €1.5 to €7. Question for those smart people amongst us, what do you think is going to happen to the share price? Watch my hand indication. What do you think is going to happen to the share price when we hit 1 million customers? I'm just a dumb chef, but I see opportunity when it's presented to me. So this is the perfect timing. You just got to simply ask yourself 2 questions. Do you want to become a partner with the individual who invited you? Does the idea of creating some long-term residual income, build that customer base on a subscription model that then you can travel because people are going to have it drop shipped to their door on a subscription and that money comes in again next month over and over again? Do you have a lifestyle that you would love to be able to reward not only yourself, but others by showing them how they can participate on some of the incredible incentive trips? Would you like to get your products for free? Would you love the idea of working from wherever you want to work from? Because as long as you've got connectivity, you're not restricted. Or is health just your main priority? Would you become a Zinzino customer to the person who invited you? Because they would love to help you kickstart your own health campaign. Get tested. Let's see where you are on a cellular level. Start your own health campaign and in 120 days, retest and show yourself that the products that you started to invest into yourself work. Many of our best partners today started off as customers because they wanted not only remove the doubt about the product, They wanted to remove the doubt for themselves that it would work for them. Wherever you see yourself, we would just ask you to let the person know. Do you want to join us in this wellness revolution, or do you just want to be a customer? Whatever that may be, we want to help you do whatever is important to you. My name is Dave Ives. I'm a Royal Crown with Zinzino, and 2021 is going to be an incredible year. And I want to share this last thought with you. 2020 has been an unprecedented year. And as I closed out 2020, reflecting on how far we have come as a company, as an entrepreneur, as an organization, I became very uncomfortable. And I share that with you because 2020 was actually my best year in 10 years of business. Now, how can that be, Dave? There's a global issue. Yeah, but in every seed of adversity, there's a seed of greatness. When you deal with real global issues and bring a real solution to the table and show people the sincerity and authenticity that you're not looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, but you're looking for a vehicle that will answer people's concerns and anxieties, then there's nothing more important right now than health and finances, and Zinzino addresses both. We would love you to come join us, and we would love to help you address your own personal health regime. Good night, everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you all very soon.